Deep in the heart of a desolate forest, shrouded in an eerie silence, stood a dilapidated cabin. It was a place rumored to be haunted, whispered about in hushed tones by the locals. The surrounding trees seemed to lean away from the cabin, as if recoiling from its malevolent presence. Few dared to venture close, for fear of awakening the spirits that dwelled within. One mist-laden evening, as the moon cast a pale glow over the forest, Emily found herself inexplicably drawn to the cabin. A strange force tugged at her curiosity, compelling her to explore its forbidden depths. Goosebumps prickled on her skin as she hesitantly approached, her heart pounding with equal parts trepidation and fascination. The door creaked open with a rusted groan, as if beckoning Emily to step inside. She took a hesitant breath, her eyes scanning the darkness beyond the threshold. Against her better judgment, she crossed the threshold, her footsteps echoing through the musty air. The interior of the cabin was a haunting sight. Cobwebs draped the corners like macabre tapestries, and a musty odor clung to the air. Moonlight filtered through cracked windows, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Emily's senses were on high alert, as if the very atmosphere pulsed with an otherworldly energy. Her gaze was drawn to an old photograph resting on a dusty table. The image depicted two women, their smiles frozen in time. One was unmistakably Emily herself, a shiver running down her spine as she recognized her own face. The other woman, however, was a mystery. Her eyes were vacant, devoid of life, and an unsettling aura surrounded her. Unable to tear her gaze away from the photograph, Emily felt a presence behind her. Cold fingers caressed her neck, sending shivers down her spine. She turned around, her breath catching in her throat. There, standing before her, was the woman from the photograph, the very woman she had come to believe was her friend. The woman's once empty eyes now glimmered with a malevolent light. Her features twisted into a sinister grin, revealing rows of sharp, jagged teeth. Emily stumbled backward, her heart pounding in her chest. Fear clawed at her insides, but she couldn't tear her eyes away from the ghostly figure before her. "You've awakened me from my slumber," the woman whispered, her voice a haunting melody that chilled Emily to her core. "You will be mine, forever trapped in the realm of the undead." Emily's mind raced, searching for a means of escape. She lunged for the door, her fingers fumbling with the handle, but it refused to budge. Panic consumed her as the ghostly woman glided closer, her footsteps soundless against the worn floorboards. Desperation fueled Emily's resolve, and she mustered every ounce of strength to break free. With a surge of adrenaline, Emily managed to wrench the door open, stumbling out into the night. The cold air filled her lungs, providing a fleeting moment of respite. She sprinted through the forest, branches whipping against her face, the sound of her own pounding heartbeat echoing in her ears. As Emily raced through the trees, the forest seemed to warp and contort around her. Shadows twisted into grotesque shapes, and the moonlight turned a sickly shade of crimson. Her pursuer, the vengeful ghost, was hot on her heels, her presence a chilling specter that refused to be shaken off. With every fleeting second, Emily's strength waned. Her legs grew heavy, her breathing ragged. Just as she felt the ghostly grip closing in on her, she stumbled upon a small, ancient graveyard nestled within the forest. Without a second thought, she darted between the headstones, seeking refuge among the forgotten souls. The ghostly woman shrieked in frustration, unable to cross the sacred ground. She lingered at the edge of the graveyard, her eyes burning with a malevolence that sent shivers down Emily's spine. For now, she was safe, but the knowledge that the ghostly figure still roamed the world beyond those hallowed grounds plagued her every thought. Emily vowed never to speak of the cabin or the ghostly woman again, but the encounter haunted her dreams. In the deepest recesses of her mind, she knew the spirit would forever be tied to her, forever a part of her existence. The line between reality and nightmare had been irrevocably blurred, and Emily would forever question the nature of her own reality.